Happiness. What is the difference between happiness and satisfaction? Yes, that is something that will be the topic of this video. Many people today, I think, are satisfied rather than really happy. So that's why many kind of, many mix those two up sometimes. Yes, it is a rather complex subject, but I will try to tackle it. Alright, so yes, what is happiness? Alright, let me give you something. I'll speak from my own example here. I am satisfied in my life because I have everything I need, but I mean to to be able to function normally, as a human being. What do we need? We all need a roof over our heads. We need food. We need drink. You need something to spend our free time with doing, like hobbies, of course. And we need to be active, enough to feel satisfied. Yes, and not feel depressed or yeah, restless. But it still doesn't mean that we are happy, of course. So why? This is a rather philosophical theme. What is happiness really? Well, of course, it's not the same for everybody. That term is kind of, it is both kind of been used in a wrong way, and it's been yeah, misinterpreted, I believe. And yeah, it's just that I, for instance, am satisfied, as I said, because I have my hobbies, of course, and I have a place to sleep. I have enough food to eat and everything like that. But I don't feel truly happy or fulfilled in a way because I don't really. First of all, I am a single man, so. And some people are happy. I mean, some say they are happier that way, but are they really? Maybe not. But some people can be anyway, because as we say, we are all different. Of course. Well, this doesn't go as smoothly as I thought it would. Oh man, yeah, this is happiness. What is happiness? Yes. I think happiness is simply being love has a lot to do with being in love, having somebody to love apart from your, family, apart from those that you must more or less love, and they must love you. Of course, even that is not true in all cases, but in most, yeah, in normal cases. Let's not use these, extreme examples. They're something else, of course. But in a normal situation, or if you don't have if you don't have a romantic love in your life, you cannot be truly happy, alright? Unless you are a cold person, of course, who only thinks of satisfying his own, you know, desires, needs, whatever. And that's one thing. Another thing, what can also be important in order to achieve happiness is to be successful in what you are doing, in your own work, in your career, or even in your other kind of endeavors, such as For instance, if you are a musician, you are an actor, writer, whatever, photographer, you wanna succeed, right, with what you are doing. And if you don't, you are not happy, right? You cannot be really happy. You even though you might even have you know a girlfriend or a wife, and everything is good on that front, but on the career front, things are not going as you want them to go, of course. So you are not truly happy or fully. You don't feel fulfilled, right? So you are not happy, but you are satisfied. You have other things, that can keep you happy enough. Yes. So and satisfied. We are. I mean, today we are people. Most people are mix that those two terms. They are satisfied because they got all these different gadgets to play with. The technology has evolved so much, but many more and more people are actually unhappy deep inside because it has become so difficult to really communicate with people and also find a love, uh, romantic relationship that can really last. That also is such a big challenge today, more than ever before. And why? Well, because simply we have set us too high goals, and the standards are so high, that people cannot live up to them. And once, others' expectations are another very important part. We have such high expectations to our future, like, how do you call it? To our chosen ones, our romantic partners. We have such high expectations, and when they are not met, we are disappointed, of course. And then we get unhappy, even though, we shouldn't be because we are with somebody that we love and that loves us, but that person we found out wasn't, as impressive to call it as we thought she or he was, or wasn't maybe as bright as we wanted that person to be, or whatever, good at something that is important to us, or she or he doesn't, they don't share the same interests as we do. So yes, so actually I think people like in the 90s, because I can talk about it because that was when I was growing up, and yeah, I think people were far happier back then, and especially in the 80s, before that. And once this technological time, the new age came, the so-called new age, everybody was like, started to have such, everybody became so damn demanding. Yeah. So those demands could, of course, not be met, all of them, and they became more and more dissatisfied, because they had such high demands, and both to themselves and to people which with which they were together with, right? And their lives, they wanted everything. They wanted too much, simple as that. Their lives had to be both exciting but safe and, cozy, and at the same time they wanted a nice cozy home, but at the same time they wanted always have romance blossoming in their lives. They have to have exciting trips, excitement, you name it. It was people just became so damn craving and spoiled in this century that it's really quite amazing. And before that, they people were actually satisfied, most of them, I think, with just having a good job that they were satisfied that they liked doing and having a romantic partner or wife or husband that they loved and everything worked well between them. They weren't, you know, having problems or not many problems in marriage or relationship. So everybody was simply satisfied with less than today. So today, yeah, going back to what I said, we are satisfied. Well, not all are satisfied either. That's even worse, I think, because they just keep demanding, demanding. Nothing is just ever too good. Nothing is good enough for too long. Anyway, you buy a new car. Oh, such a great car! I gotta have it. What happens when you get it? You drive it around. You're happy for a while. Then you're like, it's not what I really expected. Because your expectations are so damn high, right? So yeah, and it has something to do with this age where these uh, it's a commercial age, right? So everything is about these ads, big ads, fancy, flashy ads, commercials, which promise you more than they actually can deliver. Yes, yeah, I got it. I got myself out of the mire finally. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to collect your thoughts right away. Well, anyway, I think when I see the homes where people live today, most of them, everybody who has any kind of decent salary, the decent standard, living standard. And I remember what they used to look like, homes of these same people. Wow, man, it's such a huge difference. Everything is so much more, lavish. Everything is so much more, you know, just too much. It's too much. Everybody has to have a huge, smart TV and these new fancy tiles, shiny tiles in their bathroom, and I mean, it just didn't used to. I mean, earlier it was only rich people who had all that, but now I mean everybody has to have that. Everybody who can afford it, and even those who really cannot afford it, but they somehow squeeze their way to paying for all of that. They like get into debts also because they buy more than they can afford actually. And why? Because they want to have everything that the others have. So I think Michael Douglas in Wall Street 2, in that scene, he just said it all, man. I mean, he said, greed is what makes my bartender buy three houses that he cannot afford, stuff like that. And greed is what makes your parents refinance their house that was originally 200,000 for 250, so they can go to the mall and buy, plasma screen TVs and SUVs and all that, all that crap, Because in the end, when you will get fed up with everything, man. Then what is left? What is left is just to search for happiness, and that's why some people actually sell their stuff and move to, I don't know, move somewhere remote and just try to find the happiness and meaning of their life. But by then, it's kind of too late maybe because They already spent so much of the majority of their best years chasing, you know, chasing something that they thought would give them happiness, but it didn't. It could never really give them, and it gave them satisfaction, but only for a while. So that's another thing. You are never satisfied for too long today. Yes. So yeah, it's just the way it is, man. I mean, don't be too, too materialistic. I know it sounds like a cliche today because you have all these gurus, so-called internet gurus who say this, but it's true though. You should not be too materialistic because in the end you may have all these brand new things, but trust me, you'll get tired. And especially if your house is empty or your apartment uh, doesn't matter if you have nobody to share it with. So this will only provide you a temporary escape from your emptiness of your own life. Yeah, it's vicarious if you want to use that term. It will only make you forget for a brief moment that you are actually not happy at all. So you will always keep getting back to remembering you are not really happy or actually really satisfied with life unless you have what I already said. If you have it doesn't have to be romantic love even. I mean, if you have somebody, for instance, if you have some really close friend uh, that you can see almost every day or talk to when you are in need of talking to somebody, because many don't even have that today. So that's why we have these hotlines, I mean, not hotlines, but line, telephone, yeah, services where, people can talk to somebody if they are depressed and lonely. So, and that's sad as fuck, man. It's really sad because it should not be like that, of course. It should not get to that. But you know what we do? We just push it away. We just tuck it in, sweep it under the carpet whenever we, start feeling like, maybe there should be more in my life than this. But then you go, well, no, I'm happy, I'm satisfied because you're afraid, you're afraid getting hurt or getting of commitment very often. So I understand it's a great fear. It's a great thing, to commit yourself to one person for like the rest of your life or even just 10 years, it's yeah. So it's the breakneck speed of life that actually makes us so damn insecure and shut in. So that is yeah, I mean, happiness is really hard to find these days, that's for sure. I mean, real happiness, real happiness. I myself, I have my family, some family members, and I have friends, and many of us actually seek friendship over the internet these days. I don't know how good that is. It can help, but in the long run, if they cannot be here, if they cannot come to you when you really are, in pain for some reason and offer you a consoling hug or something, then, what good are they? What good is that kind of friendship? So, yeah, it's hard. I mean, so, to get back to my original point, I think even people who are actually in a relationship may not be so happy. Today, there are many relationships that are based on interests. All right, that's another important point. And then it's all about, satisfaction. It's not so much about emotions. It's not about, being truly fulfilled or happy or anything like that. But it's about interests. Right? He gets a hot girlfriend or even a wife. He's maybe not so good looking, but he has money. She gets money. She gets that jet set, lifestyle that she wanted, and it's sad. All right. They even get kids. They get married, but they don't really love each other. All right. So that's what happens too these days. More and more, I see these couple because you can easily see them. All right. I mean, I see a beautiful, just beautiful looking woman walking with a guy who really, is so far out of her league. But so what I say then, he must be rich. What would you say? All right, right? You would say the same thing. You would think the same thing. She's only with him because of money. But maybe sometimes it's different because sometimes if he's a nice guy and she is also afraid of getting hurt again. Maybe she was with earlier dating hot guys in her league, but they cheated on her. So now she wants somebody that she knows won't cheat on her. So there's also a little bit of that, but also I think a large part of it is about interest. She knows she'll get what she wants from him, and he'll get what he wants from her. They're both satisfied. So yeah, there you have it. That's that's that in a nutshell, more or less. All right. So I wish you a nice day. Take care. All. Bye.